Hang on, folks. In India, there is a law now that if you get married to any NRI, you have to register your wedding. For instance, if an NRI goes from here to India and selects a bride or a groom, that bride and a groom is forced to register with the Indian Embassy before leaving that she is married. So in case there is any abandonment or polygamist on the side of the person here in the United States or other foreign countries, that they will be able to help. The way I see it, if you're going to go to India, you're bringing home Indian laws that are going to affect you, that are going to affect your marriage.
Well, as it should be, because there have been too many cases in which non-resident Indians from places like the U.S. go to India, get married, leave, abandoning their spouse. Sometimes they profit by getting married multiple times, collecting multiple dowries even, and yet they feel no obligation to this person that they leave behind, and that person is then stuck being married without their partner. And you know the stigma for Indian women when they're abandoned like that.
Well, you know, there are stories on the other side, the men's side also. There are a few women that have actually abused and breached that particular law. But we're not going there. I understand where you're coming from. But I want to tell you a story. Washington Post classifies last Monday Indian Embassy is looking for a little help in that department. They want to hire a lawyer who understands the laws of India and the United States who can help some of these people that have been abandoned or they feel that they have been abused. And basically what it is they want to make sure they can provide help to their constituents, which I am believing Indian citizens or whatchamacallit, NRI citizens.
Well, I think that it makes a lot of sense. There's clearly a need for this service, right? There are enough of these cross-border marriages that are taking place, and in some cases you do need protections and you need legal help. And so I'm glad the embassy is stepping up and helping people.
Yeah, it's a problem, but it is a problem now for the Indian Americans to actually go there. I really think the government has overstepped its bound.
We need legal rights protected, and that's exactly what the Indian government and now the embassy is trying to do. For all of you basketball fans out there watching the playoffs, guess what might actually happen? There's a Chinese investment group that is interested in acquiring as much as 15% of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, we all know LeBron James, world-famous basketball star. You know, his face is recognized everywhere, up there with Kobe Bryant and the others. And the kind of mixed thing in this deal would be that LeBron actually will become a free agent in 2010. So we're not sure if he's going to stay in Cleveland or not.
Oh, he will. He wants to stay because he wants to be Yao Ming in China, you know. I mean, he will get some very good advertising gigs.
He will get advertising gigs.
And I have a feeling that is probably the reason China bought it, because they want him to stay at Cavaliers.
Yeah, I mean, it could be beneficial to both the investment group and to LeBron James if this deal actually works out.
That's right. By the way, folks, there's a lot of news about Indian Americans and Indians in sports. For instance, Anil Kapoor, the actor from Bombay, he was asked to throw the first pitch on LA Dodgers game.
Anil Kapoor?
Yes.
I did not know that.
And he was going to throw it like a ball, and then he realized, he said, no, I got to do it the wrong way. Sorry. But another one is in San Francisco. There was a game between Giants and Nationals, Washington. Did you know that it was actually sponsored by the Indian American Association? They had dances at the halftime.
No, they didn't.
Indian dances, Indian food.
Wow.
I think somebody should take the baton here in Washington, D.C. Come on, guys, you need to do one at the Nationals.
That is not a bad idea, and I bet the audience would really get into it, too.
South Asians will be famous, you know. Then it will not be what Fenty did. Cut off the South Asian funding, the agency for South Asians.
Well,
you know,
it has been quite controversial here in Washington, D.C. that Mayor Adrian Fenty's office cut the budget for the Asian and Pacific Islanders office. You know, an office that provides a lot of services to local nonprofits who serve these communities. And it was that organization as well as an organization for seniors that were cut from the budget. And there was an uproar. Particularly, I'm very proud of our South Asian organizations for stepping up and saying this is completely uncalled for.
That's right.
Why would you keep organizations for Latino Americans, for example, and African Americans, and cut something for Asian Americans. So guess what? The funding is back.
Yes.
And it's citizens like you standing up that made that happen.
And I think it's wonderful. Asian Americans need to get involved. By the way, baseball will be one good way to do it too.
So Ramesh, has anyone ever offered you a glass of wine with your samosa?
Yes, my wife only.
There was a really interesting piece in the Global Post about how wine drinking has become somewhat fashionable for Indian women. You know, drinking alcohol in general can be taboo in some Indian communities, particularly for females. But now wine is seen as a very sophisticated beverage. A lot of young women, when they're going out and socializing, see this as something that's much more socially acceptable and something that they would like to try. And so we're seeing now that even in India, people, especially women, are drinking wine with their samosas.
Wine is the new scotch here in America. You see a lot of Indian men now drinking wine. You know, they come in, can I have a red one? In there.
Wow, I never thought I would hear it. An Indian man advocating red wine over scotch. That's nice.
Oh, God, yes.
Okay, it's official. Bollywood is everywhere. Madame Tussauds Wax Museum in New York, many of you have probably visited it. Guess what? Amitabh Bachchan's wax figure is now part of the new Bollywood zone at Madame Tussauds Museum. This zone includes not only Amitabh's wax figure, but also a replica of the Taj Mahal, videos of Indian dancers, and an area where visitors can pose with Bollywood stars. It sounds like they're probably going to be adding more stars. And we already have, you know, Amitabh Bachchan in the London Museum, where they're adding him to the Wax Museum in Hong Kong as well. New York City, we got a Bollywood zone.
Millions of Indians that come from India to visit New York City, or those who live here in America go visit New York City, this will be dedicated to them. $15 a pop, $20 a pop, go take a picture with your favorite star. Almost real, right?
Yeah, he's wearing a black sherwani looking really nice, so that's the closest thing to getting to the real Amitabh Bachchan, I think.
Actually, he is the star. He's Avatar. People think that he is, but he's the greatest disciplined actor. After him is Amir Khan, and then there's Shah Rukh Khan. I mean, these guys are really dedicated to their trade. Of course, I'm sure there are women too. I mean, I didn't want to discriminate, you know.
Of course.
Sitting right next to you, I cannot discriminate, right?
Well, I certainly hope that you go and watch an Amitabh Bachchan classic movie this weekend. All this talk of Madame Tussauds, why not see him at his best in Sholay or in your favorite Bhagwan, right?
Bhagwan is my favorite. And I recommend it very highly. Folks, that's about all we have for you. You have a wonderful weekend. Namaste.
Namaste.